have a motion for the approval of the August 14th regular session of the mayor council meeting minutes. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Yes. Approval of the August 29th call session. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise. Okay, motion carried. All right, tonight we have some of the Masonic Lodge members here to talk to us about the cemetery, and who's going to do it? Okay, come forward, sir, please. And your name is?
Charlie Sprague. Your Honor, members of council, my name is Charlie Sprague, and I represent Lakeland Lodge number 434 and a member of that lodge. We have with us here several members of our lodge. And the purpose of our visit here tonight is to seek the opportunity and the permission from the mayor and council to affiliate ourselves with the cemetery, the city cemetery located just a stone's throw away here from us now, that adjoins the Chester property. It's run down a little bit, and we have found out in our preliminary research that it is a Masonic cemetery. And we would like very much to be involved with that cemetery, so for this restoration, locating headstones. We've already been in contact with the Grand Lodge of Georgia, and we have received a roster of members of Butler Lodge that was here at one time before, in the forerunner of Lakeland Lodge here, the Butler Lodge. And we found out a little bit about its association, Butler, with the lodge over in Ray City, which is defunct now. But Butler Lodge assisted that lodge in its formation, and also assisted in the formation of the Methodist Church in Ray City. At that time, Butler Lodge was in Milltown, as we all know, was the forerunner of that. And we would like to clean up, straighten up, locate, identify, and restore headstones where possible. We found within the cemetery now, it dates back to some of the earliest dates of 1823. People were buried there. We also found that a recent Mason was buried there. When I say recent, I mean many, many years ago. And the headstone was almost depleted. And at that time in our history, headstone was made out of concrete and didn't last too long. So his son out of South Carolina came down and placed a more modern headstone there, which is there now. We also found out that this son was a United States Senator from South Carolina. He's now deceased. He came down and put that headstone on for his father. So we would like to, I don't know, we're not going to dig anything or anything like that. We just want to locate and identify and restore everything that's there, help the city of Lakeland maintain that. Also, as you know, there was an accident there. The fence has been damaged. And so far as the fence is concerned, probably that might be in litigation. We wouldn't like to get involved in any litigation if the fence would be fixed, if you give us permission to be in there. This is our first step. We want permission to do that. It would help the city a little bit, so for the maintenance, and we want to do our part. Also, over the years, the city of Lakeland has strongly supported our lodge, and we appreciate that. And we would like to invite y'all to assist us again in November for our annual Boston Bud Sale that we have every year. It helps us a lot. And we do appreciate the support of the city of Lakeland, and we earnestly solicit a positive response. Thank you, John.
Thank you. I think I can speak for the whole council. We'd be glad for you to do whatever you want to, how you want to. There's been, I think Ms. Rockmore had some work down there done at one time, got a record player to do it. And we've been doing a lot of work in the past years. At one time, it was just overgrown bad. And may I ask somebody if they can make a motion that we give them
the Masonic Lodge and the cemetery, that's what they see fit.
Say it again, John.
I said, make a motion that we let the Masonic Lodge handle the cemetery, that's what they see fit.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. What's the status on the fence, Chief?
I did check with the accident report. It was listed on the accident report. We called the insurance company, and the insurance company said that they would take care of the fence. They'd give us a little bit of time to get all the insurance details worked out, and they'd give us a call back, wanting us to get some estimates on the fence.
Okay, Charlie, so if you'll work with the chief on that, we'll get your fence fixed for you. We appreciate y'all coming tonight, visiting with us. Okay? Ms. Smith here tonight. She had asked to speak. Okay. Barry Thomas, who's asked to speak on city business.
I got two things on this talk about a little bit. One, I'd like to know what is the far results, so-called investigation of city council, they had an illegal meeting. It's never been completed.
So would you state that again, please? Thank you.
A while back, the city council supposed to have had a illegal city council meeting. It was suggested by the city council that they investigate and see whether or not they did have one and whether or not it was legal or illegal. It's never been completed. You cannot investigate yourself.
Let me answer that.
What?
If you talk about a couple of weeks ago when me and the Lakeland County News fell out of disagreement.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about DP service station. Illegal gambling.
I can answer that. We determined, according to city charter, that it was not a legal meeting. If you read the city charter, it takes 3 council members plus the mayor pro tem or the mayor to constitute a meeting. And so that's in the story of that.
That's in the law.
So three council members can meet, discuss anything they would like, as long as the mayor pro tem is not present.
What about 4 people?
No,
There's not 4 people there.
there's 3 people.
There are 3 people there plus one left.
I answered that too. I left, we had them before. I answered that also.
You did not attend?
No.
But as the city charter reads, if the mayor pro tem or the mayor is not present, then there's not a meeting. That's on page 18 of the city charter.
I answered that. And the second thing, you're not going to like the official say. With exception of Don, I think effective tonight, the city council and the mayor should resign. Period.
That's a question. Would you ask why they should?
Very simple. $150,000 plus other things. It's been going on for years. People, including myself, were fed up with it. So I think you should resign.
We'll take it under advisement.
We're glad to have the Lewis Smith Memorial Hospital Board here tonight. Let's see who's, Ben Copeland, you're here, Jimmy Benefield here, Doug Music's here, Jay is,
Take out time.
he's out of town. Okay, you said he was coming. Sandy, okay. We're glad to have y'all here tonight, Ben, if you would, address us, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. I know that you all have a lot of folks showing up down here begging for money. Well, put us in that category. We are the board of the Lewis Smith Memorial Hospitals, and we're here to ask you help for the emergency medical service. The ambulance service, I think, is critical to our community. Jimmy Benfield has September because we don't have those numbers. But in the last 11 months, the ambulances have made 1,220 calls. Of those 1,220, 729 of them were in the city limits of Lakeland. And that does not include the transfer, like we were taking somebody from the hospital to the hospital in Valdosta. These are just emergency 911 calls. Now, give you a little bit bigger picture on the hospital. As all of you know, the hospital is owned by South Georgia Medical Center in Valdosta, by the Lowndes County Hospital Authority, which is a semi-government entity. Last year, the hospital out here took in right at $8 million, $7,945,000, $7,945,891. So it is a major entity in this community. We employ how many people today? 150. We employ 150 people. I think the hospital employs 150 people. We'd be hard put to get along without it. The hospital is struggling. The hospital last year lost $1.2 million and is set to lose about that same amount this year. So it's not a money-making entity. So far, the Valdosta Lowndes County Hospital Authority have elected to cover the losses. We hope they still will cover the losses going forward. I'm not here to ask you to cover those losses. What I'm here to ask you to do is to help us with emergency medical service. So far this year, we've lost, that it's operated in the red, $74,000, $74,104. That's not a huge amount of money. And the county, over the years, has supported the ambulance service by with equipment and buying new ambulances, and those things wear out, believe it or not, and they're very expensive. So the county's in the game and going to stay in the game. What we're here to ask you to do is to put the emergency medical service in your budget. And I'm not going to name a specific amount. We will be appreciative whatever you get, whatever we get, whatever they get. It's important, though, that this community step up and show the folks in Valdosta that we are committed to our hospital and we're committed to our ambulance service. We'd love for you to cover the $74,000, and whatever you can see fit to do is to support the ambulance service, because we got to have it, folks. We're not a community if we don't have an ambulance service. If we lose it, an ambulance got to come from Valdosta, it got to come from somewhere else to come pick you up, and those minutes mean lives. So we're here to ask you for your support, we're asking for your monetary support, put us in the budget. I'm going to leave that up to you. I can tell you what the numbers are, and it's $74,000. If y'all saw fit to cover that, that'd be great. If you saw fit to cover part of it.
Ben, is it possible we could have a splash tax of %, or something going to the hospital?
It's possible.
I mean, I think that would be something good, and everybody would be paying it. It'd be a good, fair tax, and it's something the hospital could depend on. It'd be a right. What would that probably be a year, Diane? $0.50. What do we get on the splash? Right, I mean the lost tax.
For the lost, we get $270,000.
270,000. That's what $0.50 would do. $270,000. I would support that.
So would I. So would I.
And we need to look into that as the city, the county, and the hospital board.
I agree.
$0.50's not that much, but you can do that. You can have $0.50, 2.5 cents, 7.5 cents sales tax, and that would help more than support the ambulance. That'd help some on the other costs too.
And, you know, so far, the hospital authority over there has supported us because we're a feeder hospital for them. I don't need to tell y'all how tough times are. And they're looking for us to step up as a community and show them some. That's a great idea. protection. We did not expect ambulance service. That may have been the case in the past, but that's the case now.
Well, as we get older, it's not if they're gonna come, it's when. It's when. And I want one to come get me, I can tell you that right now, whether they're dead or alive. They'll come later, but, you know, that's a fact of life. And our hospital meant a lot to me, it meant a lot to my family. When my daddy was sick 6 months, he stayed out there over 3 months. Margaret stayed out there a long time. And we need to do anything we can to keep our hospital. And I'd like to see us work for that squash tax, which would be do more than we can do and the county can do.
I agree, that's a great
So we
idea.
need to do a lot to keep our hospital here. I'm all for that 100%.
Well, I agree with that, and I support that, and all these guys work for it. In the meantime,
But are you, what you're asking for now is some immediate help?
right, we understand. And Tony, I want you to understand, the amount is important, but the perception of the Valdosta folks is really important.
So if we elected to give you some money to help with out immediately right now, would be.
Right, and we're not asking to write a check, we're just saying, put us in the budget.
We're fixing to start planning our budget now for next year, which our budget starts January 1.
I know it does, but if you could see fit to put $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month in the budget, that's a line item in the budget for support of the ambulance service.
Can you afford to wait that long? I mean, do you need some help right now?
Well, no, we're fine today, Tony. They're not fixing to shut us down today, and they may not shut us down at all, but we're working for the future. And if y'all got us in the budget for 2013, that'd be great. If you want to start it now, that'd be good too.
Ben, you might want to mention the nursing home deal too.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay,
Sure.
just like who us to do what we need to do. And like the mayor was saying that just want to have a cent stops working. Would y'all still be interested in doing that too?
Yeah, I support that. I support that. And if that came through, y'all could take this other out to it. Now, let me tell you another piece of news. We're committed to building a new nursing home. Nursing home is out there, it's built in the 60s. It doesn't meet standards anymore. And the hospital authority of Valdosta is going to finance a new nursing home. The plans are being drawn now. We had hoped to break ground this fall, and we still hope to break ground between now and the first of the year. We have a brand new nursing home, possibility for an expansion into assisted living going forward. It won't have that in the beginning. Also, we've asked them to work with Affinity. Affinity is doing a nursing home in Mississippi somewhere where they actually build the living units and then bring them in and set them up. And so we're hoping that's going to be a great project for the community. And will help ensure that we keep the hospital. Nursing home, as most of you know, has a great reputation in South Georgia. A lot of folks in there all over South Georgia. Because of the hospital, because of the swing bed capabilities, they complement each other very well. And more than likely, we might not have one if we didn't still have the other. So that's one reason we want to get a new nursing home. And they committed, they've already sold the bonds. At one time, we looked into USDA loans, USDA grants, all that stuff. None of that panned out. South Georgia finally said, well, we'll just include it in our bond package that they sold back earlier. They've got money. They made the commitment. It's not a if they're going to do it. It's a matter of just when. They're working on the plan.
We heard about that. I went out and talked to you, and we had our engineers to go back and redraw and redo, because a nursing home has to have a lot of water for fire and stuff, you know, direct lines and all. So the city went ahead and spent the extra money, and it's sitting there, ready. All the water is there. So we've been trying to look out for the hospital, and we want it to come. The sewer's there. We got ample sewer. So we're in good shape. Anyway, we help with that project. we will.
Well, we appreciate it.
So,
Anything other board members want to say? Doug?
Well, I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity to share with you. There's no need to repeat what Ben said over and over and over and over, but I've had the privilege of sitting on the hospital board for a long time, and I'm like Jimmy. I've ridden in ambulance, you know, so I know the importance of having it whenever we need it. But I think we all agree, we're just trying to take a portion of the losses and if I can use the word, prove to the hospital authority in Valdosta that we as a community support their health. I think that's most important for what we're doing. And if we can prove that to them, I think they'll continue to help us. And they're not asking for us to do it all, they're just asking for us to do a little bit, and we greatly appreciate your consideration.
One thing I wonder on ambulance is, of course, it's not, I'm going to tell you, it's not the business of making a profit anyway. We're never going to make a profit because the collections are dismal. We got about a 90% no pay leave on the ambulance. It's one of those things that just falls through the crack. So, you know, get somebody that's got insurance, maybe their insurance to pay. But more than 90% of the call are free.
80% at least. 80% of the Lakeland County citizens look over the meantime. And if you don't meet certain criteria, they're not going to pay for it to go.
That's right. They're not gonna pay.
You got certain things that you got to do. If you don't meet those criteria, the state for the Medicaid's got 10 things. If you don't meet one of those 10 things, you can forget it. Same way with Medicare. I mean, it's not a money-making proposition, it never will be.
I said I wasn't going to ask you for a specific amount for $6,000 a month. If you figure that it was $72,000. That's kind of round number. Y'all can see if you put us in the budget for that and work on this last thing.
yeah, we need to work on that.
Any questions? Thank y'all for your time.
We appreciate y'all serving on the hospital board. We appreciate you coming here tonight and letting us know. I'd hate to hear they were fixing to close the hospital. So we don't want that to happen. And I'd hate to hear that we didn't have an emergency ambulance. All of us would. So we're going to do our part and do what we can to help y'all. And again, thank you for coming.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief Harrison, give a report, please.
Yeah, the month of August was a little bit slacker than July, but we were 3 officers short at the time. As 25 traffic stops with 11 people arrested, 11 citations issued, 1 DUI. There were 19 ambulance calls for the month of August, 18 alarm calls, and 18 burglaries. I also have a request there was a 2,958 mile patrol. I have a request. I have $13,600 left over in my vehicle after we bought these 3 vehicles we had. And with these people being short, we've had a lot of overtime, plus with the fall fraud and everything, it's just been hectic. We had this murder also caused a little bit of overtime. And I'd like to take that $13,600, if it's okay with y'all, and split it up and move $7,500 over to patrol officer overtime and $6,100 over to the jail costs. Because this budget that we're working on this year is not actually my budget that I had. I came in and took this budget over, and I wasn't prepared for the overtime. It was already there. And I'd just like to take this money and switch it over and see if we can get out of these last 3 months without being over budget with the overtime.
Okay. I have a motion that we make these budget changes. I have a second.
Second.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Okay, so that change will be made in the budget there. Thank you, Chief. Fines and enforcement report, Mayor Pro Tem Tony Giddens.
The total amount of fines is $6,046.75. The city's portion is $3,544.19.
Okay, Chief Yeoman, you give us a report on the fire department. And also, while the hospital board here, tell a little about the first responders. The city has put money into training and books and paying first responders to take classes.
Start with activities for the month of August. Fire department's answered a total of 32 calls. 7 of those 32 calls were EMS calls. The city had 15 of the 32 and 5 of the 15 paid, but the city's paid for the month at $1,190. The 2 pumpers in town here have been received their annual pumper service this past couple of weeks. They'll be good now for another 6 months. Nothing else going on in the station. Well, I remember I talked to you about the new cascade system. That's not up and running yet. We're still waiting on that to come about. Hoping it'll happen in the next couple of weeks. We have y'all are planning to do some digging behind the fire station. We've got the building moved out of the way, waiting on y'all. But the thing that concerns me is there's no locating being done back there for the power company and the telephone. I mean, they should be doing that now, previous to digging. I don't want them, they can't cut that station loose. You know, they can just go back and go digging and say, oops. Because, I mean, the whole emergency system depends on that tower and that station's up and running. So, I mean, the 911 system works through us. If we go down, they're down. So, they need to do some locating. I mean, I don't know what they're waiting on. I hate for them to get a backhoe back there and go to digging and say, the power's cut, the phones are cut. You know, it's all down to the repair people can get here. So, y'all can just stay on top of that and just make sure they.
Diane, make a note to call on the location tomorrow because I talked to Roy today and they're going to probably start next Wednesday.
But in reference to the EMS, the fire department is doing everything they can to pick up the slack. We realized there was a problem a good while back. We have several firemen that's already took EMT training. Class just got through with. There's a lot of them that have first responder training. And some of them are going further than the EMT, and they all volunteer to do this. We don't get a nickel for it. As a matter of fact, we're not allowed to be paid because it makes us liable. If we're not paid for the EMS, then we're not liable. So if we go out there and help you, and you die, your family can't sue me because I did the best I could to my knowledge, but I'm not a paid medical servant. I don't get paid for that. So the fire department is doing that, have been for a while, and go out anytime of night, and anytime they holler. As a matter of fact, they called about 2 hours ago to one, they had one, and they hollered help, and we all went. We'll continue to do that. We don't plan to change it. If y'all get a bunch of money in, EMS is going, we'll still continue to help, because we're into it full swing now. We're trying to get some rescue trucks for Stockton and Mud Creek, west side area where our 2 main places are. Not a lot goes on in Tinkerville and Mud Creek, but when we get the rescue trucks there, we already have one in Lakeland. And these rescue trucks just carry medical equipment and stuff that we need. The fire department did purchase the first Lucas machine that this county had. Did that last year. And that's what that is a mechanical CPR machine to keep you alive. I mean, that's CPR machine, so we can get you there and try to keep you alive long enough to maybe they can get you going again, you know. So we've done our part to do what we could for the community, you know, help out. I'd love to see if nothing else, a part-time EMS, you know, like a daytime shift come in to help them with the transports, because like I said, you got a lot of people that don't pay for that ambulance, but still, when they pick you up, you say, I want to go to Austin, they got to take you. And it's 2 hours. So you're 2 hours in town without an ambulance. So what do? They call the fire department. Well, we can't transport you. We go over there and help you if you coded, we can pump your heart, and we got an AED, we know how to do all that, we do everything we can to try to save you. But we can't put you in an ambulance and take you to the doctor, we gotta wait for one of them to come in. Maybe bury it, maybe clinch, maybe language. But I would sure like to see a little money just set aside to, if not put a daytime crew, have a, you have your regular 24-hour crew, and then you can have a daytime crew that would be like from 6 to 6. And that give you, you already got the trucks. So it would take as much money to do that as it would another 24-hour crew. But still, fire department's here to help. Always will.
And we appreciate it too. The community's better off because of that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna tell you something, for a small community, we probably got to find a fire department in any place I know of. And I appreciate you and all your crew.
We strive to be the best. We hope we're doing the best. We had 4 structure fires in the last 12 hours, so we're doing pretty good. Any questions on it?
Yeah. Can I make a comment about that? The other night, about 1 o'clock in the morning, we had a little problem. There's no ambulance service in Lakeland or near county. The fire department responded and did an excellent job.
I remember that.
Yes,
You're welcome.
thank you for that.
And we'll do it again.
I appreciate it.
Anybody else? Thanks.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, the fire department is to be congratulated on everything y'all do. Your first responder program has been very, very successful, and a lot of people have expressed to me how much they appreciate it. So it's something we need to also support and put more money in it, and you need it, and let us know. Thank you. Anything on sanitation, Grace and Shirley, you'd like to say? We are in the process of getting bids on the garbage truck. Okay. Y'all got anything to say on sewer and water? Okay, we did receive, we got to go to Peachtree City. That's part of the deal. You have to go over there and have your picture made with the governor. It gives you a big old check. You see $575,073. Is that correct?
473.
473. Okay, 473, 75. The oldest part of Lakeland's what we redoing now. And as you know, the water and the sewer went up under Zirkle's house and Eddie's house, and if it fell in, most of Lakeland would have been shut down. So I've been real tickled with that project, that the sewer now runs around the right of way. It's not under people's houses, and it's not one that's falling in and cracking. The old clay system that we have was giving a lot of trouble on the east side of town, and we had pictures made. We did all our homework. We did our groundwork, and the Department of Community Affairs has been good to us. This is the second grant now that we've gotten in 2 years to continue doing that project. And we also, all these houses are getting new taps. All these houses over here, they got new water taps and new sewer taps. So we're getting Lakeland in better and better shape. Our infrastructure, we're probably one of the best cities in the state. And we're only using half of our capability of what we could use in our sewer pond. We could double our sewer in the city of Lakeland. We could double our water. The biggest problem we have with water right now is making both wells run. You could run the city off of one well since we redone the system. And the water bill, the light bill was running how much less a month, Diane?
Almost 3,000.
$3,000 less month, less each month on electricity. That shows you how much water was being wasted in Lakeland through leaks and stuff. And we have put in some computer controls on both of our tanks. We're still having trouble with getting that to work, because sometimes you'll go 2 or 3 days and one tank won't even turn on. When that tank doesn't turn on, your chlorine dies, and we get that good old sulfur smell. but the water is clean. It is clean, it's pure, and we'll always have that sulfur and get that smell if you don't have the chlorine in there to kind of cover it up. Streets, Grace, I will say anything about the streets.
There's two potholes on Washington. As you turn going to Washington, there's two potholes there. Now, not big, but you can feel it when you get with,
Okay, Washington. We have a goal to try to redo every street in the city of Lakeland. We're well on the way. Some streets have never been paved but one time. We've been getting a lot of those lately, and Jerry back here is doing a real good job. We finally got good equipment. We're able to do 3 times as much with our money because we got our own equipment. And we resurface the street. We're not putting it paper thin. If you notice and you look, we're putting a good coat of pavement down. It's going to last, it's going to stay here. And potholes, we fight them all the time. But I'm sure it's more than 2 in town because you can go get them all today and 2 or 3 days later there'll be some more.
Yeah, Middle Street's got plenty of them.
Miller Street. We're going to get to that. Just give us time. As money comes in, that's what we're using our splosh for. And is to repave our streets in town. And I'm proud of the crew, I'm proud of the city workers. They've worked hard and they've trained to become experts in paving. And I think you've noticed the last few streets they've paved down, Dub, I know you go around the cemetery all the time, it looks good, doesn't it? Looks good. Around the schools here have been repaved. They're fixing to do, they're doing Pecan Street now, it's going to do some of Pat.
Already done Pecan, working on that.
Working on Pat now, okay. And then we're going to go to Merle Street. We've got some of the 8th Street to do. And there's some places in Lakeland that is about more dirt than it is street. And that was on Lee Street, Sandy. Some of your family lived over there. Youngest couldn't even ride bicycles up down the street, could he? But we're working on it. We're working on our streets. Administration report. Mr. Calhoun's not here tonight with us. Probably the grant, we've been in administration. Do you know of anything else?
Grant, we're starting with the 2013 budget.
Okay. All right, next on our agenda, discuss law enforcement. Shirley, you wanted to do that?
There's been some discussion of, I'm sure everybody's heard, there's been some discussion about the police department being turned over to the sheriff's office for budget reasons, whatever it costs. I think my opinion is that we need to form a committee, if that's the wishes of the council, to look into the feasibility and see what the issues are before we move forward with it. Some members of the council will be on the committee. Some members of the council are for it, some members of the council are against it. But I believe that before we just do anything, that we need to look at the issues and see if it's something that we want to do, see if it's something the citizens want to do. So I recommend, if we're going to go this way, to form a committee. I've talked with Dennis Weebrand. He would like to be on that committee to look into that, along with some city council members. I'd have no problem with that.
Question, Tony, can we do that legally? The city charter says we will have fire, police, and water sewer.
Yeah,
Now, would we have to change the charter to do that, would we?
I understand, yes, probably so. That's why I want to form, I think, at least a committee to find out these answers before we jump off this bridge. That's my opinion.
I'm all for that. If you want to make a motion, I'll second it.
I have a question. Why are we even considering, kind of ask my question?
I agree with you on that, Don.
Why are we considering, that's my question.
of Commerce had them in here, economic community block, is that what you call it, Sandy? And one of their top recommendations the last 2 times these people have come to Lakeland was looking at combining law enforcement for budgetary reasons. The county has a lot of problems. You know, there's a lot of things that you're spending money twice for, much of them. But this is not even being considered because we got a fine police department. Our police department doing a good job. But if some citizens want to look into it, so we're going to look into it. You know, we're not saying tonight we're going to do it, and I'm definitely not saying I'm for it. But I think as mayor and councilman, as responsible people, when people ask us about it, we need to look into it and look at the pros and the cons and ask the people what they want. You know.
Mr. Mayor, and Mr. President, while we're doing this, why don't we consider the entire merger of the city-county governments instead of just one department? There are sources for assistance in that area, and while we go at this right, complete deal instead of one department.
Well, I've been having a lot of complaints that the citizens saying, why we don't merge with the county, our law enforcement, put it together, just give it to the county. Because they won't, seem like the county, they say that the city and the county not working together. And we want this one.
Mayor, since you mentioned that about the chamber, can I speak to that? I was
Yes, sir.
gonna do it in
Yes, sir.
October.
Yes, sir.
I think part of what the mayor was talking about, May the 6th, the Chamber of Commerce initiated we brought in some state people from economic development, tourism, different parts, and held a community meeting. And I know most of you here were there. The mayor, we had a pre-planning meeting a few weeks before that meeting. The mayor was at that one, so I think everybody, just about everybody here was at the May meeting. And they came back with, they put together what the people that came to that meeting, their recommendations, their thoughts, everything on governance, tourism, economic development, the whole 9 yards. What we did ask to, and our board has asked us to do is, and I was going to do, I thought it was too late I was going to get on this agenda, but I was going to wait till October. What we were going to come and give you the report, which I believe Diane may have it, but we'll make that accessible to every one of you. We have appointed 2 people from the Chamber of Commerce, 2 from the Development Authority. We asked this week the county to appoint 2 people, and I was going to come and ask this council to also appoint 2 people, 3 people, whatever, to a committee that we were going to just come together and take that whole report and look at it, because it's titled the Lear Vision. What do we want to do? And I will say, in that report, in the governor's part of it, is to explore the possibility of city-county consolidation. That is part of that process, which would also, you have to look at law enforcement when you do that as well, but that's sort of a different situation. But anyway, there's this whole report which goes way beyond just what we were talking about. these things. And if law enforcement comes up as a part of that, that's great. And that's a part of that whole thing. It's to be explored. If you're gonna do it, as, I think y'all were saying is, as Tony was saying, you need a committee, you need to be thinking about all what happens if you do it, don't do it, or do parts of it, or how can you? I mean, you are dealing with constitutional officers, such as the sheriff is a constitutional officer. How does that play in all of this? So, I just ask that if you would, please consider appointing to do that. Just let us know in the next couple of weeks. We'll let you know and keep this whole body informed on how that's going.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And if you want to talk to us next month about any more on that, we'd be glad to have you come too.
Okay.
Or you'll be prepared.
And I'll get you the report though too, Diane.
John, you made a motion, still on the floor?
No, no motion's been made.
Yeah.
He said, second, did you make one?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
About the biddy, and I'll agree with Donald. I don't think we need it, but if y'all want a committee, we'll form one. I don't think you got the police department. I don't see why we'll get it. I wouldn't bother. Our charter says we got to have one, so why?
Withdraw your motion.
Well, now, talking about the charter, say you have to have one. You would contract it out, so you'd still be credited.
You told us 3 or 4 months ago, when Gary come in asking about going to consolidate the city county fire department, we had to have a city fire department. That's been 2 or 3 months ago. Be the same difference with the police department. I can't see how we can do that. If we can't do one, we can't do the other. I don't think, according to city charter. According to this book, we can't do it.
But we can just go with the chamber stuff. Let's think about it.
We form a committee, I like Dennis Ray to be on that committee.
Okay. Okay. Well, that will not be a quorum, so we can appoint him.
If we're gonna have a committee, we'll have Tony be on the other part of the committee with the chamber. Tony and Dennis be ready. You make a motion, I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I got a motion that,
Tony,
Tony and represent the city on that board with Sandy. I have a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Look at accounts payable for August. Anybody have any questions about accounts payable?
let's pay it.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Do I have a second? Pay bill. All in favor say aye. Thank everybody for coming.
Make a motion, we
Appreciate
adjourn.
it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. I have a second, we adjourn.